Can you learn a backflip in one day? I'm honestly not quite sure you can, but today I'm going to be telling you what it would theoretically take to learn a backflip in one day. But why should you trust me? Well, I've been doing parkour for about 7 years now, and in that time, I've done several thousand backflips, so I think I'm the perfect kind of authority to talk about this. I don't know. Step 1, if you're going to be learning a backflip in one day, you're going to have to make sure you are plenty strong, okay? Backflips are quite an acrobatic stunt. They're very physically taxing, so you're going to want to make sure your legs are strong, your core is strong. You're going to just want to be generally strong. After all, one of the biggest things that holds beginners back from landing their backflips is just the fact that they aren't strong enough to, flip themselves all the way over yet. When I first learned my backflip, that was my issue, was that I wasn't strong enough to make it all the way back to my feet, partially because I was super young at the time. So in order to prep for the day that you do decide to learn your backflip, you're going to want to make sure your legs are strong. So you're going to practice heavy squats, leg press, maybe that one's not really needed, but also Bulgarian split squats are great. And then for your abs, tuck jumps are my go-to. It's basically you jump up in the air and tuck your knees to your chest. This is the exact same motion as a backflip, just jumping up and tucking your knees. Step 2, find something soft to land on, okay? When you're learning a backflip, it's a pretty dangerous move. Make sure you have something that's super cushiony. That way, in the event that you do land on your neck, you don't die. Don't think you have anything soft to land on? Luckily, I have this hierarchy of things that you can practice on, and pretty much everything has at least one of the things on this list. Number 1, a parkour gym. This is undoubtedly the number one place that you can learn your backflip because there's virtually no risk of seriously injuring yourself, right? Because you have access to a foam pit where you can learn it first, where you can actually dive into one of these things and be fine if you're in a good one at least. In addition, you can then progress to a mat where you can have a coach potentially spot you into your first flip, and then you have plenty of mats in a gym, so you can gradually work your way down into just doing it on the floor. Coaches are not only there to spot you, meaning they'll actually hold on to you and make sure you don't fall on your neck, but they're also there to teach you how to do the things. They'll give you personalized advice. So if you have one specific issue with the backflip, over here in no man's land, I can't give you specific advice unless I actually watch you do the flip. So having a coach there is invaluable. I know our goal is to learn it fast, to learn it in one day, but years down the line, if you have a coach to correct you making small mistakes, that's gonna prevent a lot of issues in the future. If you don't know if there are any parkour or gymnastic gyms in your area, just search on Google parkour/gymnastics gym in my area. They're all over the place at this point, and usually you can get into like an open practice for 15-20 bucks. Open practice essentially means that you just have free reign in the gym for like 2 to 4 hours, and those are really good for learning flips, because if you take a proper class, they won't exactly teach you a backflip on the first day. Number 2 on the hierarchy is trampoline parks, right? Trampoline parks are not as good as parkour gyms, but they can absolutely be a great place to learn for the first time. At a trampoline park, you will also always have a foam pit. I don't think I've ever been to a trampoline park without a foam pit, so you can practice doing your backflip into the foam pit for the first time. At trampoline parks, usually there will be a little mat separating the trampoline from the pit. I'll throw a picture on screen, and this is great because you can practice flipping off of said mat into the foam pit. Just make sure no one sees you, because a lot of the time, people at trampoline parks aren't exactly friendly towards people doing flips, because it's a liability. But you got to do what you got to do. If all you have access to is a trampoline park, then that's perfect. Just use that. Trampoline parks can definitely be great, but there are certainly bad things about them. So I'm sure we can all relate to going to a trampoline park and having to worry about jumping on little kids. I've definitely jumped on my fair share of little kids, allegedly. Make sure if you go to a trampoline park, you don't go to Sky Zone, okay? What they do is they'll cycle you between dodgeball, free jump, and then foam pit, and they'll give you like 15-minute cycles or something like that. I don't know. I haven't been in years because it absolutely sucks. But yeah, just don't go to Sky Zone. Make sure you go to a trampoline park that is good, which is pretty much every single other one. Here's a little trampoline park tip. Make sure you go at times where there's not going to be little kids or big kids, honestly. You'll be surprised. Like, teenagers that go there, shockingly, will have less self-awareness than little kids that go there. Like, teenagers will run under you just as much. It's kind of wild how little bodily awareness a lot of people have. But all of this being said, trampoline parks are damn close to an ideal learning condition for backflips. So if you have access to one and you don't have access to a parkour gym, definitely go. Further down the list, a trampoline, like a backyard trampoline with pillows, is also a pretty good learning environment. It's not even close to trampoline parks and parkour gyms, but if you don't have access to a trampoline park, this can definitely be a good option. Trampoline with pillows. The trampoline's balance as well as the pillows themselves can make a really good kind of condition for backflips. You can land on your head and you'll be fine. I've taught people backflips and they've been fine, even when they fail miserably. My tip here is to get some pillows and then get a blanket and cover the pillows, and then you can have the pillows like bunched together, and then get a friend friend to throw them under you, this is a really good way to do it, because when you have a big thing of pillows and a mat on a trampoline, that's going to take a lot of your bounce, so you're not going to jump as high. But if you have a friend to throw them under you, it can help because you can get more bounce. One step down from this is just a mattress and pillows. So I feel like I have to say this, but don't take your own mattress outside. That's a horrible idea. But in the rare event that you have like an old mattress lying around, maybe in your garage or something, I don't know, you can take that outside, throw some pillows on that bitch, and it's a pretty decent mat. Like, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend everything above it before I say go with the mattress. But I trained with a mattress for a while. Now, if you only have pillows and blankets, you don't have an extra mattress to use, this is where we get into the territory of like, you probably shouldn't even be doing this. I mean, you shouldn't do any of these. I'm not condoning any of this. I'm not legally responsible for anything you do. Throwing pillows on the ground really isn't a great solution, to be perfectly honest with you, because if you land in between the cracks of one of the pillows, then that's basically landing on nothing. That's landing on the floor. But if you just have pillows and blankets, I'd say wait until you have access to a trampoline park or something, which most people have a trampoline park within an hour of them, unless you live in the middle of nowhere. And then just rapid fire of the last couple, we have sand and snow. I'm gonna put them together. I think I have them in different places, but they're basically the same. Maybe snow's a little more cushiony depending on what kind of snow you get. But if you live in a shitty environment where you get snow regularly, if you get that really soft and like cushiony snow, that can be a pretty decent pad. The only downfall of this is that you obviously have to wear a coat unless you're Russian, so that kind of weighs you down a little more. I wouldn't recommend using snow as your first pad. It really sucks. And then sand, same kind of thing. Just make sure it's not, wet sand, and you have to pile a bunch of sand together for this to work. Once you have picked your surface to land on, remember, use the hierarchy, use whatever is highest up on here. I specifically designed this for this video. Comment below which one you're going to be using. It's going to help me with making future videos to know what most people are able to do. Now, step 3, we're going to actually learn how to do a backflip. There are a million tutorials on YouTube for learning a backflip, but I'll give you the kind of bare bones stuff. Step 1, jump as high as you can, tuck your knees to your chest, grabbing your knees and pulling them in as tight as possible. Step 2, throw your arms above your shoulders and do the exact same thing. 3 is to do what's called a makaku. You're going to crouch down, reaching your dominant hand behind you, and then carry yourself over like this. Keep on doing this movement, but gradually get yourself over and over a higher kind of angle. And then once you've done this, I recommend going over your side first. That makes it a lot less scary, and you're just going to gradually make it over until you're doing an actual backwards moving flip. This is going to take a couple hours, so don't expect to do it as fast as I kind of demonstrated in this video. Step 4 is to get a friend. Okay, you're gonna want to make sure you have a friend with you whenever you're learning something dangerous like this. Having a friend with you is gonna help tremendously in any of these situations other than a parkour gym. In a parkour gym, you can have coaches to help you, but in any other condition, it's good to have someone to record you. Maybe call emergency services. If you're on a trampoline, they can throw a mat under you while you're doing the flip. If you're both learning together, this is a big one. You can critique each other's backflips and learn faster that way. And then your friend can record you, so your superficial ass can kind of show off to everyone. If you want to see me showing off to everyone, you can go on my Instagram. I'll put the tag up here. So yeah, what'd you think of that plug? Step 5, you're gonna land your backflip. This is my favorite step. By the way, nice job watching to this part of the video. Once you take in all the steps to learn your backflip, you're gonna focus on perfecting it, okay? How do you do that? You're gonna do that by watching this video right here, obviously. I'll see you later.